We're going to call this City of Douglasville regular council meeting to order for Tuesday, January 19th. At this time, we'll have our invocation done by our city manager, Marcia Hampton, and after that, the Pledge of Allegiance from the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Larry Yockey.
Let us please stand. Heavenly Father, again, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to gather in a place where we can speak publicly about the issues that face our community. I ask that you watch over us, put your hands on the council members and the mayor as they make the decisions of the city. I ask that you bless us as we gather in this place. These things we pray in your name, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Welcome this evening. This evening is our regular city council meeting. We will be voting tonight. I'd ask that if you have your cell phones, if you would all silence those, put those in the silent mode. And if you have, if you're going to be approaching the mayor and council, if you would fill out the form that's outside on the table with your name and address and that information and hand it to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. And at this time, if you are on the agenda, when you come up to the podium, say your name and address for the record and present your agenda. Moving forward, I'll ask for minutes of the approval for the minutes of the special meeting and legislative work session of January 5th, 2016, and the regular meeting and executive session of January 7th, 2016.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. It's been properly motioned and second to approve the minutes. Are there any corrections? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes are accepted. Now we move on to Public Safety Committee. Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Larry Yockey.
Yes, I have one item. Item number 20-16-02, request for the change in outlet manager and a transfer of the alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverages and the following establishment. Current licensee is Gauri Trading Incorporated. Proposed licensee is Moshi Food Incorporated, doing business as Exxon Food Mart. Location is 3112 Bright Star Road. Current agent outlet manager, Ishida S. Jatankumar. And proposed outlet manager is Vahib Shah. The required investigation has been conducted and the required fees have been paid into the city finance department. I make a motion to approve item 20-16-02.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Yockey. It's been motioned and second to approve item 20-16-02. All those in favor of approving this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. This item has been approved unanimously, item 20-16-02. Moving on to item 7, which is Community and Economic Development Committee. Councilman Mark Adams, the chairman. Would you please bring those items forward, sir?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have an item tonight under Community and Economic Development, item 21-16-02, authorize the mayor to sign a development agreement with Blake Communities VP2-GA LLC regarding development of the Gateway Village subdivision. I would move that we table this item 21-16-02 in that we have not had discussion or not seen a final document for the council to consider. I know that Mr. Fowler wanted to make a presentation and give us information on it. I will make a motion that we table it at this time, and then if we so choose to allow him to do that, that's not a problem, but we would table it and not take any action on it at this time. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of tabling the motion, but since Mr. Fowler is here.
What date?
Oh, I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Are you
next
going to move
dates.
to the next meeting, Councilman Adams?
Yes.
That would be the meetings of January 28th and February 1st.
And my motion would include those meetings January 28th and February 1st of 2016.
And I would second that amendment.
I'm sorry.
Okay, as amended, to receive that motion to table this item, item 21-16-02, until the dates of January 28th and February the 1st. And all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. And Mr. Chairman,
If it be your pleasure, Madam Mayor, would the council have a problem, since Mr. Fowler is here with his client, to go ahead and at least make his presentation, if that is okay with council and with the mayor?
No presentation, really. Susan had suggested some language that I've run through my class, but with the holiday yesterday, we didn't get that finalized. We'll do that in the next couple of weeks, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr.
thank you,
Fowler.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
That, no
Councilman
other
Adams?
business under Community and Economic Development, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We're moving on to item 8, Planning and Development Committee, and that's also Councilman Mark Adams. Do you have any business tonight, Mr. Adams?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 3 items to consider tonight. The first is item 22-16-01, a request for a change in zoning from CG General Commercial to R2 Single Family Detached Residential District on .23 acres at 8155 Dallas Highway, State Road 92, Land Lot 17, District 1, Section 5B, Parcel 75, application made by Benny P. Adams. I make a motion that we approve 22-16-01.
Second.
Okay, we have properly made a motion to approve item 22-16-01. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 22-16-01 has been approved.
22-16-02, request approval for a revised final plat for the purpose of combining parcels 0017015B075 and 0017015B077, located at 8155 Highway 92, Dallas Highway, in Land Lot 17, District 1, Section 5, application by Benny Adams. Make a motion that we approve item 22-16-02.
Second.
Thank you. Item 22-016-02 has been properly moved and second that we approve this item. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. This item has been approved.
Item 22-16-03, a request for a special land use permit for kennel pet grooming or training for 4.89 acres, Zone CG General Commercial at 7377 West Strickland Street in land lots 191, District 2, Section 5, parcels 27 and 82, application made by Dale Mitchell Enterprise, LLC. I make a motion that we approve item 22-16-03, and I would like to add to that this would be an unlimited special land use permit for this owner at this location with this business.
Second.
Thank you. Item 22-16-03 has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments about this item? I know we had some discussion. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. This item has been approved.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to item 9, which is Parks and Recreation Committee. That will be Councilman Chairman Chris Watts. You have any business,
Thank you,
sir?
Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Item 10 is Finance Committee. Mayor Pro Tem Larry Yockey, do you have any items this evening, sir?
Yes, I have 2 items. Item tabled from the December 21st, 2015, 24-15-27, authorize the mayor to sign a 3-year lease with Riley's Early Learning Academy Incorporated with the city-owned property of 6625 Brown Street for a monthly rental amount of $1,000 with the tenant to pay utilities and with the tenant to release any claims against the previously paid utilities or rent for the property. I would like to I'm going to make a motion to take this off the table.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of taking this item off the table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The item is removed from the table.
And then I'm going to table it again, okay, for our meeting of
January 28th and February 1st.
January 28th and February 1st.
Second.
Thank you. Item 24-15-27 has been tabled to the January 28th, February 1st meeting, and all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to tabling? Thank you, the ayes have it. So we have moved this item to be tabled until the January 28th, February 1st meeting.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
My next item is 24-16-02, authorize the city manager to negotiate a trade of the 2012 Chevrolet Tahoe owned by the city of Douglasville and previously used by the Mayor Harvey Persons for a new vehicle to be used by the Mayor Rochelle Robinson for equal or lesser value of trade in the amount of the 2012 Chevrolet Tahoe. I make a motion to approve item 24-16-02.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-16-02. Are there any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
I'd like to get some clarification on what's actually included in negotiate. Does that include completing the actual transaction, or is that something then those terms come back to us to vote on? I'm unclear on that.
City manager, do you have comments, ma'am?
Negotiate would be for me to basically trade in the vehicle for that amount and have the city clerk sign off on the title. If you would like me to do something different, I can.
I want to know what that included. Thanks.
So that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. Yockey?
Yes.
Question concerning that. There was discussion in our meeting on Thursday night as to the vehicle that Madam Mayor had chosen that she would like to be included as a part of the trade to purchase. Has that changed, or is that not in this motion for a particular reason?
The vehicle type has not changed. The vehicle itself has not necessarily been located. I have to call Mr. Boyd tomorrow. I just didn't want him to go any further without getting approval for us to select a vehicle. So depending upon the amenities that are included in the vehicle, it could change the price here or there, but I am not going to go over the value, definitely, of the Chevrolet Tahoe.
So the scope of the search has not been changed. We're still looking at the same vehicle for Madam Mayor, being a 2016 Chevrolet Equinox.
That is
right?
correct. It probably an
of equal
LT.
or the same value as the trade-in.
Right. He said it would not be the lower of the three versions of the Equinox.
Yes, sir.
So, but we had to, in order to get everything in motion, we had to approve this.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
but we have it worded so that there's no cost to the city.
that is absolutely correct.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other questions or comments related to this item? Okay, well, has it been motioned and second?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have the proper, for item 24-16-02. All those in favor of approving this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? I guess I'm going to vote on that. Okay, well, thank you so much. We'll move on since there aren't any questions or comments have already been taken. Item 11 is Information Technology Committee, and that is Councilman, the Chairman, Richard Siegel. You have any business, sir?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to Maintenance and Sanitation Committee. Councilman Sam Davis. Oh, I apologize. Mike
business
Miller.
at this
Michael
time.
Miller.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Transportation Committee, Councilwoman LaShawn Bird-Danley. Do you have any business, ma'am?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor, under Transportation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Move on to Personnel and Organization Committee, Councilman Chairman Michael Miller.
No business under Personnel and Organization Committee tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Item 15 is Ordinance and Intergovernmental Committee, and that is Councilmember LaShawn Bird-Danley. Do you have any business tonight, ma'am?
Yes, Madam Mayor, just one item. Item 29-16-01, authorize city staff to advertise for a public hearing on the issue of whether to adopt a resolution exempting the mayor's city-owned vehicle from the statutory requirement to place an identifying logo on the doors of this vehicle. I make a motion that we approve item 29-16-01.
Second?
Thank you, sir. Item 29-16-01 has been properly moved and second. Are there any questions or comments on this item?
I do have a question, Madam Mayor or Chairperson. We've used the word accepting the mayor. Should that not be exempting the mayor's city-owned vehicle?
Yes, and I said exempting. Is it?
Mr. Adams, I was using the word
the word from the statute. That's
Okay,
what
that's
they
fine.
say.
I'm just curious as to why that was used. But if that's in the statute, then we need to use that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
He is paying attention. Any other comments or questions on this agenda item? Thank you. We will, item 29-16-01, all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, abstain. Thank you so much. The item has been approved. We'll move on to item 16, which is Education and Training Committee, and that is the chairman, Councilman Samuel Davis. Do you have any business, sir?
No items at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other business to come before this body from the council? All right. Oh, no. Our esteemed attorney, city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson, you have any business, sir?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Item 19, the chief assistant city attorney, Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. The city manager, Miss Marcia Hampton, I'm sure.
Couple things. You did skip our chief. I think he thinks he's getting away with something again.
Oh, Chief C. I apologize. I'll rephrase that, Chief. No business, sir? Okay. Thank you, thank you.
Things are good.
Okay.
That's what we want to
I
hear.
apologize. So, yes, moving on to our city
Yes,
manager.
ma'am. Just to be clear, for the clerk's record, twice you mentioned abstained in 2 items. We just want to make certain no one abstained tonight in the vote.
That is correct.
Okay, yes, we were just
Yes.
clarifying, all right. And then you should have received your Mayor's Day packets. They were in your boxes. If you have not received those, please make certain that you go over to City Hall to pick those up. They will include everything as far as your classes are concerned, as well as directions for those who are attending Mayor's Day this weekend.
Also, on that, we have scheduled the Suburban. I don't know who's going on Mayor's Day for Sunday, but I know for Saturday and Monday, the Suburban, we'll have to figure out who's going to drive it, okay? But it will be available for us on on Saturday and Monday. So we can discuss that afterwards in regards to what time we want to meet and all that kind of stuff. So just want to add that.
Okay, yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
And for Mayor's Day, while you're there, you will see a video that was produced by our very own City TV. It is a promotion for GMA's annual convention in Savannah. GMA, again, hired City TV to do this video. I think it's really good for you to see. I sent it in your Friday email. There's a link to it, so you'll be able to see that beforehand. You'll get that preview before anyone else, and it really talks about why it's important to go to training, and you'll have some of your colleagues, fellow council members and mayors talking about that. And then finally, just to remind you that on the 28th of this month, prior to any meetings that we would have, the conference center will be sponsoring the Chamber of Commerce after hours. So be here at 4 o'clock, and you'll be ready for your meeting that evening that either will start at 5 or 6. All right, and that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, we did have an agenda. I don't know if that was posted for our retreat. Is that given to the
It's already been advertised,
Sentinel?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize. I should have done it under other business. Are there any staff reports? I apologize. Comments from citizens and delegates. Getting ahead of myself. Please state your name and address for the record, and we'll hear your comments, sir.
Joe Fowler, Hartley Run Fowler, P.O. Box 49, Douglasville. I'm back again on behalf of Tributary, and glad to report that we've made preliminary arrangements for a short-term letter of credit to deal with the purchaser of those lots that I mentioned last time, and we're making some arrangements to get that done. But in light of the consideration by the city of what was called, I think, a failed bond subdivision, I've spoke to Susan about this in an attempt to get some general direction, but in the application for the letter of credit, I was wondering if it might be possible to get some word from the council as to whether or not you might allow us to include in that letter of credit what you would not normally see in it, and that is a reference to the adoption of that ordinance, so that, for example, our letter of credit that we are hoping to obtain on a short-term basis could say something like this, if I may just read. This letter of credit shall expire upon the earlier of January the 31st, 2018, or the date the City of Douglasville adopts Section 9.09 of Section 22-21 of the Douglasville Development Code dealing with the collection of roadway project improvement fees. And you may recall that you were talking about collecting a certain amount of money every time a building permit is obtained. And if that's going to be available at some point in the relatively near future, our request would be whether or not you think it appropriate that we include that in the letter of credit that we are attempting to obtain so we can meet our contractual obligations with this proposed lot buyer so we can get these 5 houses started in that subdivision. And I know it's not an agenda item. I'm really looking for some general instruction about that. Again, because of the holidays and everybody's schedules being a little bit awry, I wasn't able to get on the agenda, number one, and then secondly, to get feedback from anybody about it. Could you give me perhaps, Madam Mayor or Councilmember Adams, concerning how you might want to proceed with respect to that? Or should you just put it on the agenda next time?
Our chairman, attorney, Susan Littlefield.
Well, as Joe and I discussed, the ordinance has not been passed yet, and not sure of the form quite yet. One of the proposals that we've talked about is that it would not be applicable to every subdivision that is not bonded, but the council may wish to pick and choose appropriate ones. I would say that we need to be able to release his letter of credit early, should we decide to treat him under that ordinance later, but it's probably premature at this meeting to give him the go-ahead to do that.
Well, that was my
Process of coming up with that.
I recognize that. Well, we'll just have to act accordingly then. And wait, is it likely that you'll consider it at the meetings of the 28th and 1st?
That we would consider an ordinance adoption, Mr. Fowler, or that we would consider the passage of your, or the acceptance of your plan as far as letter of credit?
Well, based on what Ms. Littlefield indicated, it appears that you're not going to make this an ordinance that applies to everybody. That is, the council will retain discretion to determine those subdivisions to which it may
Correct.
apply. But if you're going to adopt the ordinance, and if you could give us an advance indication, we might be so bold as to put that in the letter of credit just so we can meet our contractual duties to these lot buyers.
I have no idea what the schedule is or where Ms. Littlefield is as far as progress on a potential ordinance for us to view. But as soon as she has it ready, I would trust that it would be placed on the agenda for us to consider. The problem that I see in your premise there would be, from what the wording that you gave us, was that it would be an automatic acceptance into that ordinance at such time as we passed an ordinance. That may be a little premature if the ordinance is not drafted as such that particular subdivision would fit into that. So that, I think that's what Ms. Littlefield is saying. I just don't know that the ordinance that will be presented will fit your need, and therefore if you do that prematurely and we pass it, then automatically is your subdivision then grandfathered in under that, and can you go and cancel that letter of credit when in fact it may not fit the description of the ordinance? That's, I think, the problem she's trying to relate to.
I recognize the issues. We're trying not to lose this
I understand.
buyer.
I understand. Is there a difference in your rate for a shorter term letter of credit?
Cost, its rate, it's everything.
I understand.
And
I understand.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, do we have any idea as to when, Ms. Littlefield, this might be brought up? I'll ask that question of whomever might be able to answer it for the benefit of Mr. Fowler.
Well, I can bring it back to you at your next meeting, assuming that I have answers to all the questions that I still have. But then, on separate consideration, you'll need to look at this subdivision.
To see if it in fact would fit in that?
Yes.
Okay. 2 weeks, that we'd have it before us again, to at least have it on the agenda to consider?
Yes.
Okay. January 28th, February 1st. Will that help, Mr. Fowler?
Yes, sir.
There's a separate problem as well. Until we are, in fact, under that ordinance, you really can't take anything different at this point
Yes, sir.
because there's been no vote of the council.
Thank you.
May I just ask the city attorney another question? Susan, does it require anything other than routine advertising? It's not like, for example, have to announce at one time and then adopt it at a second meeting.
I don't know of a separate advertising requirement. We're not going to build that in. It will require some estimates, though.
Which we have already.
Right.
The hard estimates, that's the way we can get the letter of credit. All right, well, we'll just work around it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Fowler.
Mr. Thank you, Mr. Fowler. Are there any other comments from citizens or delegates? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Councilmember.
sorry.
You have.
You didn't overlook me, I was just asking. Yes, Madam Mayor, just to our city attorney, I just wanted to make sure, Mr. Attorney Fowler is welcome to come back if he has a comment, but I just wanted to make sure that there are specific and detailed parameters that would give us very specifics on how would we determine which subdivision or which subdivision or not would have bonds or letter of credit.
That
when
part
you
is
when you
easy
start
to
your research,
determine.
ma'am.
That part is easy to determine. Your building official will know whether or not it's currently bonded or not, and why it's not, and that sort
Right.
of thing.
Okay, and also if we can look at the scope of the areas of within the city of Douglasville. So that was just a comment that I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from council members? If not, we will take action accordingly on the 28th, as we will have our draft before us to decide about the abandonment subdivision ordinance. Thank you so much. Any other comments from citizens or delegates? If not, staff reports. Do we have any staff reports?
I have none tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. If there is any other business to come before this body, this meeting is adjourned.